All right, what's up, my casual duelist friends? Casual Duelist here, and it's time for the combos video for Lair of Darkness. Now, if you haven't already, I did a profile on this deck. Should already be up, and maybe you want to put this one on pause. Go watch that if you haven't already. If you have, thank you for watching, and let's see if we can't make some sense of some of the bigger plays here. So, again, with the extra deck, I do run Dragoon because it's an option that I have that makes everything really good. So let's just talk some of the basic stuff real quick. So one of my favorite combos in the whole deck is just the field spell plus super poly. Again, if we are changing every card on the field into a dark attribute, and super polymerization is going to let us play from anywhere, then we really do need to consult Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Again, this is a great way. You cannot interrupt super polymerization. It's technically a spell speed 4 because of its text. And honestly, you could just fuse trap all day, every day. And I think I said this during Spooktober event, just about Zombie World in general, because they also have a monster, since they're changing the creature typing on the field and graveyard, that they were able to do that with. And it was just fantastic. And another thing that you can do that I didn't think to pull out the card for is when you go to sideboard with this deck. Again, not every deck is dark out there. I know the dark decks do tend to take a little more precedence just because dark monsters always seem to have some of the better effects. But Lair of Darkness changing the attribute of everything, we can actually create a soft lock with Goes and Match. And doing this with the Goes and Match, especially if we can play a monster during our opponent's turn, or tribute a monster during the opponent's turn, the Lair of Darkness is going to kick off during the end phase and generate an amount of Inferno tokens. We're just going to use JoJo as a substitute. Sorry. They will actually get spawned over to the opposing side of the field because they were the turn player when a dark monster or monsters was tributed. And so if they already have a dark monster and they're not running a dark deck or a deck that even has dark monsters in it, they have to try to link it away. And again, one of the things that they could try to do is like Link Spider. But I don't know about you. I don't play Link Spider unless I actually need it, and I've never put it in my side deck. That would be something I'm just woefully unaware of as tech. And with Goes and Match, we can effectively create soft locks on the sideboard. So outside of the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, another one of my favorite little like one-card combos is the one-card combo that's going to let us get into Dragoon. And so real quick, that combo is just Tour Guide. You just need to play Tour Guide, and it doesn't matter if you go for Lilith or Tour Guide off of it. Both of them are legal targets. And this is going to give us our 2 effect monsters. Once we have the 2 effect monsters, we're going to play like a $30 card with Predaplant Verde Anaconda. Boom. He'll pretend he's a dual center for a second. He goes there. Then you'll be able to pay your 2,000 life points to activate effect, which is activating a fusion spell as his effect, which is how we actually get around the wording on Red Eye's fusion. It's what makes it so that we can't special summon afterward. But normally you can't activate this card the same turn that you summon at all. And again, since Anaconda's text is telling us to use this card's effect as its effect, we're not actually activating the card, we're using the text. And this is what's going to allow us to pitch Dark Magician and our Red Eyes from deck and generate our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And again, once you have Dragoon up, you have some other plays. And again, if your Lair of Darkness is already very active, Super Polymerization is a quick set into the background, and we're looking at already having one of 2 darks. We're just waiting for the opponent to get the first summon in, and then we're going to go ahead, we're going to snap that up, discard a card, and take the turn, and just immediately go into Starving Venom as well. Now we've got 2 monsters, and if their deck is anything like Black Wings or Ancient Warriors, or insert any other deck here that really needs that first normal summon to begin any form of loop, then we've effectively tossed their whole turn for them. And again, you could do this, it's like 2 cards. You just need like Terraforming or Arima or just draw into Lair of Darkness to have Lair of Darkness. You just need a tour guide to get into this whole mess here, and then get lucky and just have Super Polymerization laying around. And again, that's like 3 cards out of a 41 card deck. It's not that hard to do. But yes, I do have the advantage of just having some expensive cards laying around on deck. So there is that. Again, we do want to use Barricade Board Blocker sometimes because it's just going to help us tie in some protection for Lair of Darkness. And again, just everything else is meant to synergize. So as long as you have some synergy going, you're good. The rest of the combos are all pretty soft. Nothing really locks. Everything else could be put into the sideboard. And another great strategy for your side deck, guys, would just be like I used to call it a side deck swap. Now, I'm going to shuffle this off screen a little bit, but I'll explain to you guys what the side swap was. And I believe it was Reaper format. And Joe Patton, if you're out there watching, I know that you were there when we spent a couple weekends just grinding all night, preparing for that Butler Regionals. The side swap was a 15-card strategy where I had pre-picked side outs before I ever played a match. And we had skill drain, I believe it was at 3. And I went from playing a very aggressive Gravekeepers build in an era where Monarchs were really tearing up everything. And I want to say Blackluster Soldier got banned during Reaper format. And so I wasn't able to play Chaos at that point. But Sorcerer was still kind of going around doing a whole bunch of mess. And honestly, we spent like a good 2 weeks, or at least the weekends for it, polishing up a side swap, and it was 15 cards. So what you guys could do, as opposed to the conventional wisdom of maybe going 2s of really good things and 3s on things that you really need, like Triple T and Lightning Storm. And again, if you have the money for that, that's great. Even I don't have those cards yet. Maybe this summer when we get the new Megaton, maybe we'll be looking at some nice high-class, high-brow reprints. And that would be awesome. But yeah, we did that, and I played game 1, it was Gravekeepers, and then game 2, they were playing against Skill Drain. And when you got like things like Beast King Barbaros, Chainsaw Insect, I can't remember, I think it was using Fusilier Dragon, a lot of crazy cool things, and it was awesome, it was fun, and I feel like this deck has the potential, especially with the Lair of Darkness and everything, that you could actually just run all of the virus traps. Again, I don't think we're going to run into too many Jinzo players, and if they're not playing Jinzo, their monsters are just free pickings for a lot of the viruses, and we're already running a couple, so I think that is enough shuffling. You guys will have to forgive me again. I didn't have time to go looking around for an extra sleeve, so we do know where one Arima will be in the deck. And I'm going to try not to consciously put him towards the top. Let's see what we get for an opening hand. So let's say we're going to go first. We're going to get 2 Ash Blossoms, Tour Guide, Infernal Dragon, and Duke Shade. So immediately, I'm not hating life because we already have Dragoon. We have Dragoon with the ability to stop our opponent from doing something. And as long as we can get into our field spell here rather quickly, Duke Shade is a Kaiju for us that doesn't really require Kaiju cards or giving it to the opponent. So again, let's see what we'd get if we went second. We'd get Lilith, which is kind of a no-brainer. So we'll just play Tour Guide, play Lilith, Link, Vert, pay 2K, ding, you know, toss the card we want to use the effect for. You guys probably making fun of me because I probably passed it very blatantly, didn't I? Yep. There goes the Red Eyes Fusion. Designate your Dragoon. So we'll do that. Send materials for Dragoon out of deck. There's Red Eyes. There's Dark Magician. Believe it or not, this actually works out excellent for you because you've really just sped your deck up by like 4. Because we were able to use Tour Guide to take Lilith out of the deck on first turn. And then through Predaplant Verde Anaconda's effect, we were able to utilize the Red Eyes Fusion from the deck, as well as the additional 2 cards that we needed to make for it. So if you go based on some old equations I had written up a long time ago, we've already taken another 4 cards right out of our deck and sped it up. So now it was 41, right? There's 5, so that's 36, 35, 34, 33, 32. 32 cards already left in the deck. And again, we're already going to have Dragoon plus Verde Anaconda. We have a negate on him, possible 2 destroys. We've got 2 hand trap negations. We have a juggle monster that we can do and a possible kaiju as long as we get our field spell. And an unaltered next turn draw would give us the deck devastation virus, which again is not terrible. We just need to bounce somebody that's 2k plus, so we would set up the Infernal Dragon with it. And start the turn by trying to blow through whatever our opponent set up for us. So it's not a terrible test hand. All that proved is we can play Dragoon real quick. And again, the only thing I dislike about doing test hands is I never break right when the deck is actually organized. And having just filmed you guys the deck profile, this was very organized. So it usually takes me a good like 3 to 5 games of shuffling and playing before the deck seems to break right. And of course, you'd think I'd be smart enough to do that before taping, but not really. All right, let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it looks like Arma was close. So if we go first, we've got Duke, Tour Guide, Diablos, Blossom, and Deck Devastation Virus, which is actually kind of fantastic because we're going to be able to set up, again, Dragoon on 1. Diablos, as soon as we tribute one of our monsters, which we can do with the Predaplant Verde Anaconda, to go to Duke Shade, which could go ahead and pop him. Then we could place the Deck Devastation and use him to take control of all the hand traps. If we go second, we get a second Diablos. Not really a big deal, but not the best. So let's say we didn't. Again, you would just do all the same things. So one more test hand. I'm going to call it a day and let you guys have a great day. Additionally, I know I forgot to say this a little bit during the last video. If any of this helps you guys, if you've enjoyed the content, please feel free to subscribe and let your friends know about the channel. If there's a deck that you guys would like to see, again, this was requested by user Okami. Not exactly sure which one it is. I'm going to go with Kami just because it's a C-A-M-Y. And that just seems like the proper phonetics, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. If you guys want to request a deck, request a deck. If I have the cards, I'll try to do it. Some cards I just don't have. See, we're getting closer to that Arma. All right, last test hand. We got Tour Guide, so we've immediately got Dragoon. We got Allure of Darkness, which, again, even without knowing that that's Arma, I would try to increase my options first off. We do have the Ash Blossoms, so we do have a hand negate. We have 2 Ash Blossoms. We have Infernal Dragon, who I've always said is a perfect throwaway anyway. So again, if we go second, we know we got Arma. So let's try to go second hand. So we just do the Allure of Darkness, pick up Deck Devi, and Ash Blossom again. If we didn't go second, if we went first, we're only getting that Deck Devastation plus the Arma, which again is fine. We're getting rid of the Dragon, which is fantastic. He's banished, so later on we'll be able to pull him back with a Leviair play when we get a second Tour Guide. We'll be able to send Arma for his effect, get our Lair of Darkness, and change everything to dark. We will be able to play our Tour Guide. Just trying to grab out the cards ahead of time. Tour Guide for, let's say, Lilith, as soon as we find one. Yup. Link 2. Vert. Pay 2k. Red Eyes Fusion. Red Eyes Fusion, designate your Dragoon. Pitch your materials from deck. Oh, that was nice of them. Yes, hello Luna. Got your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And we're going to set up with Deck Devastation now. So if our opponent in fact plays anything with 2,000 or more power, we are immediately going to tribute it on their turn because Lair of Darkness says we're allowed to. So we have 3 Ash Blossoms for no reason. Again, it could be 2 because maybe we went first. But it's still an Ash Blossom plus 1 negate off of Dragoon. Additionally, we still have all of the play space here. We have the Deck Devastation Virus. We can go ahead and zap one of their monsters. We can zap an effect. We can break 2 monsters depending on what they choose to do. Again, if we break monsters that are tokens, that's fine too. Just real quick, would we get another Arima on the next turn? And even Duke, if they set a monster instead, or we do go through with the Deck Devastation, we can use the token. Now, we got another Tour Guide, which means we're going for Leviair second round. So, that is the combos for this deck. And again, I really do hope that this has helped you guys out. And again, all of the things, but most importantly, especially to me, I want you guys to have a great day. And I'll see you guys with the next video. And I think we're doing Speed Duel because tomorrow is Tuesday. So I will see you with that. Later, guys.